today's video talking about some suspicious things that went on with that July 13th event. And you know what? I gotta say, we're gonna ask the questions. I'm not making any claims here because unfortunately we got some goofballs who are pretending to be patriots or freedom fighters. Okay? They think they're freedom fighters, but they're really communists. And they're going out there saying that they're launching class action lawsuits, and anybody who says that what happened was staged or wasn't real, they're going to sue them. Okay? So just so you know, that's communism. That's restricting people's freedom of speech, and that's tyranny. And these people are not freedom fighters. They are part of the NWO agenda, whether they know it or not, and it's despicable. So I'm not saying that this was staged. Okay, I do believe it was a psychological operation any way you look at it, but I'm not saying it's staged. I'm not saying it's fake. All I'm doing is showing some suspicious things, asking questions. I won't say my own personal beliefs or opinions, but I'll let you guys make a decision what you want to think about the situation, okay? So I want to show you stuff in regards to Trump. A lot of people, everyone in the mainstream alternative media, who are all agents and shills for the most part, won't even address Trump's role in all this. They make it seem like, oh, the deep state's against him, and oh yeah, there's so many things with the guy who had the firearm, that 20-year-old kid up there, and there's a inside job with his security and all that, allowing it to happen, and this and that. That's all a distraction. That kid was a distraction to keep people away from Trump himself being in on this, okay? So that's why in the mainstream alternative media, they, oh, God bless Trump, thank goodness, oh, thank he's protected by God, you know. That's because they're taking away from his role in it. They know damn well what they're doing because it's obvious Trump's role. So I'm not going to really speak about the kid who fired the things, you know. I got to be careful with what I say with the censorship. But I want to look more so at the Trump stuff. I got one interesting clip to show you about that kid, which raises some eyebrows that I thought's worth mentioning. But yes, I want to get into the Trump stuff first, okay? And I just want to make it clear before we get into that just because I think that there was some suspicious things here doesn't mean I'm saying that nobody lost their life who were in the crowd, okay? In these PSYOP events, real people often do lose their lives because these people are into human sacrifice. So rest in peace to the people who did lose their lives in this tragedy, right? This is nothing against them. This is just about Trump's role. So one thing that I found very odd and suspicious is when we heard the bullets ring out, when Trump ducked down, it seemed like he had something in his hand and he dropped something. So take a look at it.
But I couldn't see the person it was coming from, but I couldn't see the person, but I couldn't see the person it was coming from, but I couldn't see the person.
Okay. Looked like he dropped something to me, but the weird stuff comes what happened after. He was obsessed with his shoes. Get my shoes. Well, why the heck was his shoes there anyways? Was he wasn't wearing shoes during his speech? Why would he want them to get his shoes? And why would he even care about his shoes after being shot at? They could get his shoes later. But not only that, but his hat. The whole Secret Service team was obsessed with his hat and passing his hat around. Take a look.
Service had one job, and that's to protect this guy at all costs, no matter what, and get him to safety as soon as possible. Not to let him get his shoes on, expose himself, and pump his fists in the air. And what is the deal with this hat? Why was it so important for Secret Service to maintain possession of this hat? Let's watch the event unfold again, and let's keep our eye on the red circle.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here, move it to the stair. Stair, get ready. Stair, get ready. We ready? Shooters down. Shooters down. Shooter down. Are we good? Shooters down. Shooters down. Are we good to move? Shooters down. We're good to move. Are we clear? We're clear. Move. Let's move. We're clear. Come on. Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold that in your head. It's bloody. So we got to move to the bus.
All right, so you'll notice that the red hat is in the right hand of the agent with the crew cut here.
Bloody. So we got to move to the bus. Let me get my shoes. Okay, my shoes down. Get the shoe. Watch out.
Awfully worried about the shoe. Here, let's let the former president of the United States expose himself by pumping his fist into the air while the cameramen in the foreground get a good shot. And there's the hat right there. The hat is now in the left hand of Donald Trump. So somehow it transferred from this guy's hand to Donald Trump's hand. But we're not done transferring the hat yet. At this point, he dropped the hat and the female agent bent down to pick it up, and now she has the hat in her right hand. They take the hat all the way to the motorcade. Why was the hat so important? Why was it so important to get the shoes on? And why was it so important to let Donald Trump pump his fist in the air?
Very suspicious, wouldn't you say, my friends? What was up with the original drop? What was up with the shoes? What was up with the hat? Could have it been a blade? Remember, we're just asking questions, but could have it been a blade, just like how the WWE wrestlers will cut themselves? Could have it been a blood packet? You gotta ask these questions. We're not making any claims, but you gotta ask those questions. Okay? That's one of the most suspicious things that I found about this whole situation. Also, when he first got hit in the ear, he grabbed his ear immediately and drops, right? Now, when he gets up, the ear is all bloody. You'd think if he got shot in the ear, grabbed his ear, when he got up, his hand would be covered in blood, but it's not. Okay? I looked at some close-up pictures, and there's a little bit on maybe two of his fingers and his thumb, but just very little bit. You'd think if the ear, that bloody and blown off like that, you'd think the whole hand would be covered. You'd think his hair up above would be covered, but there's nothing on his hair. It's just a little bit on the top of the ear. And you'd think there would be some on his shirt, which there's not. What the heck? If it was truly an open wound like that, you'd be like that. And you'd also think, as he gets up and you're watching him go, there's a set amount of blood on there, but you'd think it would keep bleeding and be pouring out. But it's not. Once he gets up, there's the blood, and it just stays the exact same amount of blood. If it was truly an open wound, you'd think there'd be more blood coming out, gushing down, going down there. Yeah, he had a little bit on his lips. How did it go on his lip like that, right? Kind of looks like the NASA symbol a little bit. I don't know, my friends. I don't know if there's anything to that, but I'm just saying it's an observation. That's what it looks like. So those are some highly suspicious things. And then, of course, we have the crowd. This lady in the crowd was acting very suspicious. Take a look at this, my friends.
Really see something that said, take a look at what happened. to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
So, to me, it looked like when we first heard those shots ring out, it looked like she kind of smiled, like had half a grin. She goes down, immediately takes out the camera. A lot of the people, if you keep watching the footage, a lot of the people in the back didn't even look phased by it. Some people are like, oh, but you'd think if actual shots were ringing out, like people would be running over there, everybody would be screaming, people wouldn't be sitting there taking out their phones. That's what I'd think, okay? Very weird. And then you could see in that clip I just showed you, as soon as it happens, if you watch, a camera guy comes running with his camera, all ready to take the photos. Like he knew it was going to happen. He's like, this is my cue to come in, get that iconic photo. Of course, Trump had to come out, fight, 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 and do the fist pumps. And of course, they have those professional photos. If this was a real situation, would they be allowing Trump to put himself and the people behind him in danger by doing the chants? And would they have the photographer right there ready to capture? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not making any claims. But we gotta ask those questions, right, my friends? And as far as that kid who was supposedly shooting off those rounds, what I found suspicious about him was he was in a BlackRock commercial a few years ago. And we know BlackRock is one of the most powerful companies in the world. They own all the major companies, and we know they're part of the NWO agenda. So what was this kid doing in a BlackRock commercial right before this? Take a look. That's right. So, that's fishy, and there's a lot of stuff not adding up, like people were warning that he was on top of the building and they wouldn't do anything about it, and it was a direct line, it was easy to tell. And there's so many things that don't add up, like they allowed it to happen. Of course they allowed it to happen because there was a bigger agenda behind this all, and it was something that was fueling this agenda. Like I said, I'm not making any claims, but it does appear that they allowed this to happen so they could proceed with this civil war agenda. Of course, Trump had to say, fight, fight, fight. And I know a lot of people say, oh, he means fight for the country. It's like, yeah, that's how they originally want to play it off, that, oh, they don't condone violence. But this is how their black magic works. They're inserting the idea into people's minds, and at a later date, it will turn into more of a violent civil war revolution, okay? You could see they're even doing this at the RNC now. The crowd is chanting it. Take a look. That's right. They're really pressing this fight, fight, fight because they want the Civil War. All it's going to take is another major event, such as this last one. Who knows what they're going to try and do, and then it will turn into violent, and people have that pre-programmed in their mind. Fight, fight, fight. Well, my friends, I'm here to tell you, do not participate in any of this, okay? This is all an agenda to cause this civil conflict so that they could collapse America, and by collapsing the dollar, it will collapse the whole world's economy, so they could bring in their CBDC, digital ID, social credit system. And once that happens, it's game over. Stop picking sides. Left, right. It's all two wings of the same bird. They're controlled by the same NWO, satanic elites, reptilians, whatever you want to call it. My friends, stop picking sides. Stop falling for the divide and conquer agenda. Have love for your brothers and sisters, even the brainwashed folks who are falling for it. We got to show them love, try and wake them up, and try and convince them not to engage. If we don't engage and don't give them that civil conflict, then this agenda fails. And this is a crucial agenda for them. They need this to work. All it takes is for people to stop supporting government, stop putting their faith in the government, unite, come together and say no more and stop consenting. Once that happens, it's game over. We're sitting here arguing with each other over which puppet is the best, while the world is falling apart, when we should be working together, not complying, and building our own new societies, and finally bring an end to all the corruption. We need to take away their power, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's too many people brainwashed by both the left and the right, and we're in for a crazy year. Let's just put it that way. But we got to stay positive, and we got to create that better timeline for ourselves and just do our best to wake people up. But the number one thing you can do is don't buy into the hatred, the division, because that's just going to bring order out of chaos, which is an ancient tactic that these people have been using for thousands of years. Who knows how many times they've done this with other puppet politicians and with their other resets, and humans keep falling for it. When will humans wake up and become the sovereign beings they are and stop relying on Big Brother to control and enslave them, thinking that there's some godly savior coming to save them? It's pathetic. It really is, my friends. Wake up, okay? And I'm saying this from a place of love, tough love, okay? People are still duped by this. It's time to wake up and stand into your own sovereignty and just say no to everything they're doing. Then none of these agendas will play out. But until then, the same things are going to keep happening over and over and over again. Okay? So, Hegelian dialectics, it's called. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that subscribe button. As I say, subscribe to survive. And if you enjoy my content, head on down to Patreon. We got exclusive content you won't get anywhere else with all different kinds of classes and whatnot. The link is down below. Or if you'd like to simply just buy me a coffee to help support the channel, it means the world to me. That the link to that website is down below as well. And of course, I'll send you some videos to your email, some Patreon videos as a thank you. But what means the most to old Lionel is to hear your guys' feedback. So if you'd leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Stay tuned, my friends, because we got a lot more coming here to the channel. Until next time, old Lionel signing off.